Tom, what's going on? Sending this real quick. Spent a little time this morning building a workflow in a tool called N8N. I connected a bunch of Microsoft content, went into my calendar, grabbed 100 recent events, and it includes all the fields that are by default part of this. And then I went in there and edited those fields and just took the meeting subject, start and end time, the organizer, location, what came out of the meeting body, and then I executed the entire workflow and put it into, I ended up using a Google Sheet because when I was trying Excel, it was failing, but the Google Sheet worked. So I'll show you what happens. It just runs these nodes. And if they're effective, it gives you a green check mark, and then it's saying it's got a problem. Append or update. Column names were updated after the node setup. So I'll show you this. I open up this spreadsheet. It pulls out all of my last 100 meetings in my calendar. I got to fix some things up here, but I've lunch this week with a recruiter. It's going to be at the Drover. This one is another person I'm meeting with. I put the entire meeting invite in there. I've got Husker Hoops showing up. I've got, a guy I met last week. Danny, I met him as well. Scott and I did a recording last week talking AI. So all of my calls for the last several weeks have been captured here. These are things like you and I, our conversation as well, and the detail around it. So all of these things can now be pushed. I just captured them in a spreadsheet just to show that workflow automation functions. I have not tested this in CoWork in Copilot, but the same concept applies. If you connect all of your nodes like this correctly, you can run workflow automation. And so hopefully that helps you guys in your decision making around how things could operate. Once you define those workflows, then you can run automations against them and get exactly what you're looking for. Kill a lot of steps in the process. I didn't have to go back and look at 100 meetings. It just automatically extracted that information, summarized it in table form for me, and then gave me an output, which in this case was just a Google Sheet file, but it could be anything. It could push into a different system. So call me, questions, or happy to work or walk through that with you guys and the team.